Hi, the purpose of this video is to clarify how to analyze target notes and approach notes. Now, the first thing to remember is I've already talked a lot about how you have to analyze things based on what the rhythm of the melody is. So when the rhythm of the melody is moving at the metrical level or the submetrical level as it is here, or at the supermetrical level. So remember that you have to understand that part first, and that's all in the Harmony 2 text. Okay. So now once you understand that, you realize, for example, this passage, let's just listen to what this currently sounds like. Okay, so anything that's on a emphasized point in the harmonic, in the rhythm of the song is going to be a target note. How do we emphasize notes? One way we emphasize them is by putting them on a downbeat. So this is clearly an emphasized note, so that's clearly a target note. Okay, I think that's a no-brainer. So then I analyze it specifically as what it is against the chord of the moment. It's the third. This is on an and we have a series of eighth notes. So that means that we are on the submetrical level. At the submetrical level, anything that's on a downbeat is emphasized, and anything that's on an upbeat is de-emphasized. An approach note, and this is the really important point, for something to be an approach note, it must be on a de-emphasized part of the melody. And in the submetrical level, that is eighth notes in 4/4, the de-emphasized part of the rhythmic structure is the ands. The and of 1, the and of 2, the and of 3, and of 4. This is on the and of 2. Therefore, it is de-emphasized. Therefore, it could be an approach note. But the other thing about approach notes is they must resolve by step into a target. So you also have to check if that's happening. And it is happening. So it's fulfilled both of the requirements to be an approach note. It's on a de-emphasized part of the structure, and it's resolving by step into a target. So it's definitely an approach note. Now, you have a choice here. You can either label it by exactly what it is, what kind of approach note, or you can simply circle it. I would recommend that you label it by exactly what it is, just so you can reinforce your knowledge of the various kinds of approach notes. But I'll show you how to do it both ways. So if we analyze it exactly as what it is a passing tone, because the definition of a passing tone is a note which connects two other target notes which are a third apart. So in that case, you would write you do the abbreviation PT. If you just wanted to circle it, the way to circle it would be to take the expression tool, double click, and go to miscellaneous and find a circle. There it is. And I would recommend that you give it a shortcut, which would be, the way you would do that would be doing Shift C for circle. Then say assign, and then from now on you could do a circle by simply doing holding down C and clicking, and a circle will appear, but only if you're in the expression tool. So you don't have to do both. You can either circle it or label it exactly as what it is. You know, PT for passing tone, N for neighbor tone, UA for unprepared approach. You know, they're all listed in the book. In the approach tone chapter, in the melody chapter, at the end of the melody chapter. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, so I just said the most important thing, which is that target notes are emphasized notes, and approach notes are unemphasized notes, but also which resolve by step into a target. So here we are, it's on a downbeat, clearly a target. What is it against the chord of the moment? It's a 5. Here, next note, clearly on an upbeat, clearly not an emphasized note, it's a passing tone. Label it PT or circle it. I'm using this lyric tool, by the way, for this. Clearly on a downbeat, emphasized note, what is it? It's 7. Unemphasized note on an and, what is it? It's an upper neighbor. I'll just put N for neighbor. See that? Because this is a target, that's a target, it's going up, it's coming back down. Okay, now we have a quarter note, that's fine. It's clearly a target, it's right on the downbeat. Tension 9. This is on a downbeat, it's a target, it's the root. This is on a upbeat, so it's not a emphasized note. However, it's not resolving by step. So it's not an approach note. It's just a repeated note, right? It's not resolving by step to anything. So it's neither. It's not a passing tone, and it's not an emphasized note. So for a note like that, you can just leave it blank. This is an emphasized note. It's happening on a downbeat, and so it's the flat 7. You could label this as flat 7 if you want, but it's not being emphasized. Okay, and then we come over here, and that same note, G, has now changed its function because now it's emphasized, but it's against a different chord. So you have to figure that out. Okay, what is it now? Oh, it's 11. It's tension 11. All right, so far so good. Hopefully you're following all this. Okay, now what happens when you start to get anticipations? We don't have any anticipations here. Let's create an anticipation. Let's tie this. So what have we done? We have moved an emphasized note a half a beat earlier in our structure. So now it has become emphasized. Before this, it was not emphasized. Now it is emphasized. The definition of approach note is a note which is followed by a tie or rest. Okay, this is an approach, this is an anticipation, and this would also be an anticipation. That's two ways that you could create an anticipation there. Follow it by a rest or follow it by a tie. I'm going to go with the tie version. All right, so in this situation, we have to reanalyze. We have to say, okay, this is no longer a repeated note. This is now an emphasized note. This is where we put flat 7, and we've now analyzed it correctly. It has become an emphasized note. It has become a target note. Okay, let's see what see what else happens over here. What if we do this? What if I take all of this? Remember, this used to be a passing tone, right? Now, what happens if I do this? I'm going to take all of this and move it forward. Okay, what just happened? We have to reanalyze our melody. It's totally different now, right? Okay. Now, first of all, this is an emphasize. This is still on an and, right? But it's preceded by a leap. So that means it's not a passing tone anymore because it's not moving by step, right? It's not connecting two notes a third apart by step. Now it's leaping into the passing tone. It's leaping into the approach note. So it's become a UA, right? This is still a target. It's a different target. This is still a passing tone. It's a different note, but it's still functioning as a passing tone. This is a target. It's the root. And this has become a target because it's being anticipated. The emphasized note has been moved earlier in the metric structure. So this is now 9 as an anticipation. Now you don't have to put the words anticipation. The fact that you are analyzing it as a target shows me that you know it's an anticipation. Nothing here. It's just a continuation of 9. This is a repeat of 9, but you'll notice that it is not preceded by it's on an and, right? So at this moment, it's functioning as a repeated note of 9, right? Which is also functioning as an approach to this target, okay? So you could either leave this blank because it's a repeated note, or you could say, you could call it a UA because it's unprepared in the sense that it's not, there's nothing immediately before it, right? This is now a target, so it's 1, and this is flat 7. That has not changed. Okay, and of course, one more thing I could do is, what if I did this? Well, this has now become a target. It's a repeat. It's a anticipation. So my analysis moves to there. Okay, hopefully this little demonstration has clarified things for you because it really will change the way the music sounds.